Yeah.
As you're talking to me, you're working her with this, with the lunge light here.
We took her to a pet store today where she picked out her own toy.
Oh, nice.
And it's funny because I like, well, it's in a whimsical, cartoonish way, frogs, you know.
Very good.
And it's just funny because she, out of nowhere, she picks out all these toys, she picks out a frog,
Right?
which is too, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it was just too funny. So I said, oh, I got to buy you that, man. You picked that out, and it's a frog.
Now here's the nice part. You're engaged with her right now.
Yep.
See how she's now working for you while we're talking. And that's what we want, right? We want to work her when she comes out here. We want her to be engaged, enjoying her time. So there she sees the motorcycle and we engage her with the toy.
Do you think she'll get to a point where, see, I'd be nervous, very nervous. In certain situations, I think she's fine. She's been really good in most restaurants. Really good in almost many restaurants. She had no problem at all. One last night, not so good, but it was incredibly loud.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ear-deafeningly loud.
Absolutely
With
makes sense.
a lot of raucous, you know, and she was on. She didn't bark though. She just got up a lot and moved around in circles. She was uncomfortable.
Yep.
Eventually, I took her to the car.
Good.
Yeah.
But again,
But most restaurants, she's fine.
that's
You see?
good.
How? Yeah.
Or she gets exposed
Yeah,
to stuff
she's-
in small doses.
Yep.
Remember, like you said, you read her.
Yeah.
You said it was too much, too loud.
Too much, too loud. Yeah, exactly.
So you just removed her from that and you take her to a place that's maybe
Right.
a decimal or two down. from
Now,
there.
I would be afraid, though, ever to take her, for example, to a legitimate theater, a show, a play with actors. And then, I mean, that would really be disruptive
In the
if she started
beginning,
barking.
But you can introduce her to that. You'll never know until you take her. See,
Yeah.
what's happening is in your mind, you already think you're going to get an outcome.
Yeah.
But she's just in the beginning phase. The reality
But when
is,
you got a thing and you got expensive theater seats and it's not easy to get back to the car parking. It would be a big deal to have to take her back to the
then
car and do.
you set up a mock theater setting somewhere, have some friends come over and pretend like you're at a theater. You want to set things up where you just see how she's going to be in those settings. And she may just surprise you.
Maybe.
And the more training she gets, like the first night she came out here, she was not as animated as she was. She saw me tonight. And she was
We should start taking her. We should start taking her to some movies where it doesn't matter so much, because there you see the barking is not going to upset the actors in a movie, is it?
That's correct.
There's no one to get upset except
correct.
maybe some people in the audience
Yeah, but
might
go
get
during
annoyed.
the day when there's hardly like.
That's right. Go during the day.
With their hearing aids.
Well, we have a plan to go see a couple movies where a situation like that, where it won't be a big deal, like during the day.
That would be perfect.
And we brought her there. We can see how does she do.
That's right. And again, take your treats so that when she is performing.
Honey, you hear that? You take the treats.
And then she gets rewarded for this calm behavior in the
Yeah,
theater.
reward her for calm behavior in the theater, hon.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, that's one of the things I did. Like, I took the last 2 days, I've been bringing my treat bag, because now that I have more.
Although it didn't help last night because it was so loud and raucous that, yeah,
But I
it
mean,
was
like,
frightening to
the
her.
skateboard part, I mean, us walking by, like, she didn't even respond. Like, I mean, there was like 15 to 20 skateboarders, and you know how loud that can be.
Oh, trust me. I'm
And that,
working
yeah,
a case
that,
right now.
that didn't bother her. Yeah.
I'm working a case.
Uh-huh.
So see, she wants you to re-engage. There you go, good. So just re-engage. There you go, good. Way to drop that line and let her re-engage on the toy that you're. There you go. Good girl. Good girl.
And as we were, like, walking by, I was, like, feeding her treats.
That's good.
But the thing that I noticed is she's fine, like, with a group, but when it's a lone skateboard,
One lone
That's
skateboarder.
where she has trouble.
Yep, much more when it's an individual person.
So then what you do is the lone skateboard, you just work her farther away from the skateboard. So again, distance is your primary reinforcer. So she learns then, as she gets comfortable from 30 feet away, you put her at 29 feet. She gets comfortable at 29, you put her at 28 and a half.
You hear that, hon?
Et cetera, et cetera. So you've desensitized her in the presence of one person with a skateboard. And then she's like, oh, okay,
Right.
that happened. But what the mistake we tend to make is let's go from 30 feet to 5 feet,
Right,
and then we blow them up.
right.
And they have failure, and then we're like, oh. So we just go back to where she's successful.
Well, I do see the more she gets exposed to something that was a trigger for her, each time it's less.
Correct.
Till eventually it's not a trigger anymore.
Right. And
Once
then
she
the
sees
other-
there's no threat. Once
That's
she
right.
yeah.
And then the other thing is be very aware of all the other things in the surrounding. Is it dark? Are there lights on? Are there noises?
You hearing this, hon?
Are there other animals? What other things are happening that could also be triggers for her?
Right.
All those things
past a guy on a bike, you know, and go, okay, she reacted to the bike this
That's
time,
right.
but why was that? Like, she was fine with bikes.
One time there was a thing with a noisemaker in the spokes, a card that went
Oh,
brrrr, made it. Yeah,
That
that
makes sense.
bothered her. Yeah, it's
That's
something new.
different. Absolutely. Those
Sure.
are all new things.
Sure. And really, she's just showing she's very good.
Exactly.
You
Now
know,
here
she's a very
she's-
smart
She's
dog.
spending more time tonight already on the toy. Already she's staying longer on this
Than she
than she did
did.
last time.
Yeah.
Because she's having more out here. She's like, "Ooh, okay, I like this little fox on a stick thing." And again, this is just simple engagement between you and her.
Right.
Little activity between you and her. That's fun. And there's soccer players out here. There's wind.
Yeah.
An airplane just went by. There's one above our
She's
head
not
right now.
didn't bark at any of that.
Nope.
She's
So
intent.
That's right. Because here you are now pairing it with something wonderful.
Right. Oh, when we first drove up, we're in the car. She started barking. Do you know why she was barking when we first? Was it the policeman? What? Oh, because she was excited. She knew where we were. She saw the park. She saw. That's why. Of course, that's why
She's
she.
like,
I was wondering, was it the police? But the policemen were inside their cars, and you
Right.
couldn't even see them.
It
so
was just
it
now.
couldn't. Have,
She's associated this place with fun.
With fun and-
fun, good things. That's right.
It's like when we take her. Interesting though that when we take her to a regular dog park, the big dog
Yeah.
park on Barrington,
Yeah.
we take her there. Whenever we take her there, she sees where she is. She sits up, takes notice. We can see she's excited, but she doesn't bark, which is interesting. She just is happy, but doesn't
just
bark.
is. That's
She
right.
just is, yeah.
Because
But she's
that's-
been there so many times.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's-
Now you have desensitized her to that place.
yeah.
And now that place means good
And,
things. 'Cause
yeah,
she's never had a bad experience.
That's right. And so Adrian always says to her, "You gonna play with puppies? You gonna play with puppies?" She's all- yeah.
Right, she said, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Yeah, exactly.
And again, she is more invested in this toy than she was last week. And now she's not afraid of. Last week she
Yeah.
was afraid of the lunch line.
Wow.
Tonight,
Not at all.
afraid of it. And that's just
Wow.
in one session. You can see when she came back, she had such a good experience.
Right?
And here she's moving and playful and happy,
Wow.
all in just one session. I mean, you can just see it on her. Look at her. She's
Right.
animated. She's happy. She says, "This is just the best
Cool.
thing ever."
Cool. Well, thank you. I'm clearer now on
Yeah,
some
it's
things.
pretty
That's
wonderful.
good. It's,
And what you find too is some dogs. Again, that guy's yelling down there, and she wasn't
Yep.
focused on her work.
yeah.
So here she's focused on playing with her toy,
Right.
engaging on this thing. Once she releases it, then the game starts over again.
But now you know something about service dogs, of course.
Now,
Our friend's saying it's not acceptable for service dogs to bark. I mean, is that true? Is that like?
basically, it's
mean-
like saying that protection dogs can't bark. What happens is some dogs are wired to have what we call external or internal mechanisms.
Right.
So a dog who is an internal mechanism, when they're waiting for something, you'll
Right.
see them actually shake.
Oh,
Their
wow.
body
Yeah.
will shake.
Sure.
Waiting to get to that thing.
Right.
You can't punish that out of a dog. Some dogs will squeak or chirp or bark. Some
Sure.
dogs, when they get excited, those things just come along for the ride.
Right.
You can't punish that out of a dog.
Right.
Nor should we? That just comes with the part of a dog being a high drive,
Right.
focused dog. And again, with her, if she barks here and there because something is letting you know she's uncomfortable, our
Like
job
the
is to say,
jackhammer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to make
There
sure
you go.
I
Yeah.
pay closer attention to that.
Now, our friend was very impressed, however, with how she was with all of her dogs, because the new environment, right? There's all these
right.
dogs.
Well, that could've
She
gone-
she was great.
That could have gone right.
Yeah,
So,
she was wonderful with them.
trust me,
So
The dogs range from like a year and a half
to a cranky older dog who
That's
doesn't
awesome.
want anything near him, and she was great with him. She's great with all the dogs,
That's
from little ones to older, bigger dogs, everything. No
And
problems.
one of our
Awesome.
friend's assistants brought a 4-month-old Chihuahua.
Oh, no kidding.
Chihuahua mix, very cute little thing, and she was great with her. She's great with all. She's been great with every dog.
Very gentle when trying to play with her.
She just hasn't had problems with dogs, which is great.
See what she saw with the guy with the red shirt up there.
Oh.
That's what she keyed in on.
Interesting. I didn't even see.
Guy up there in the
Interesting.
corner with the red shirt.
Wow.
That's what she keyed in on.
She's more observant than I am.
And those are those things, trust me, dogs don't miss a beat.
No.
And that's why we'll say she didn't bark at
Well, that's what
anything.
Adrian wants. I mean, it makes her feel secure
That's
that
right.
she notices things. That she, because Adrian, especially if she's got a panic attack,
right.
she's not going to be noticing too much stuff.
You got it.
She wants to feel protected and safe,
That's exactly right.
and she'll be good at that.
That's exactly right. So here, she's still focused on the man up there in the
Uh-huh.
corner.
who I still don't even see. I don't know who we were talking about. I trust you.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
up in the corner, in the right-hand corner.
Okay.
Boy, she spotted him like lickety
Wow.
split.
Yeah,
no problem.
I
She's
can't
like,
see.
hey, who's the man in the corner?
Oh, there, now I see him. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now let's see if she'll re-engage after that, and she may say, I'm gonna work for liver now. Going to work for. So now she's done playing, right? Now she
Yeah.
wants to work. So
Yeah.
we'll take this, put it over here now, and we're gonna work her on a touchpad.
All right.
What do you think of that, young lady? What do you think of that? Make a little triangle here.
Oh, good girl.
Nice.
Good girl.
On the pad we want. Then you can go to any pad in the park.
First time it took her a while to even get up
Now
on the
look
pad. Now she does it first time
Yeah, she's
off.
like,
Wow, look at that. Ding.
that tells you how much her memory retention is.
She's a quick learner. She is. Wow. No. Good girl. Funniest thing happened the other night. I come out, I get a couple of her treats that she loves, right, from the fridge. We in a bag. She's lying on the floor. I come up to her. She's not asleep or anything. She's awake and alert, you know. And I offer her a treat, right? She gets, instead of taking the treat, she gets up, so he sniffs it, gets up, walks away into the bedroom to like where she is. Then she comes back out again. I offer her the treat a second time, turns away, walks back into the bedroom where and has gotten up on the bed. So then I come to her and she's lying on the bed and I offer her the treat. She turns her head and lays it down on the pillow without taking the treat, right?
Gosh.
Then she takes it from me. She takes the treat, hands it to me in sight of her where she can see that. She hands me the treat, then I give it to her and she takes the treat.
Wow.
But here's what we figured out though. Here's what we figured out. Because later on she went to the fridge and did the same thing and she reacted the same way. We realized it hadn't warmed up yet. It was too cold for her. She didn't like the cold right out of the fridge. That was it. Because first I took it personally. I went like, she won't take it from her daddy, but she will take it from mom. Mom has to show her it's okay for. No, by that time it had warmed up.
Yep, that's so cool that you put all those pieces together.
I know, isn't that cool? It's interesting, isn't it?
Awesome.
But at first it was like, oh man, I was real home. I know, my baby won't take the food from me.
That's great that you picked all that up though.
Oh yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, she's sensitive to temperature,
There's a
and it's
reason for
and it's weird because she actually likes eating ice cubes. An ice cube is a treat for her. That she likes. Isn't that weird? She likes an ice cube, but she doesn't want cold treats.
She's like, they have to have.
She's very particular.
Aren't we though in some ways?
Well, of course we are. We all have our things that we don't like and little persnickety
That's right.
things that we like it just a certain way.
Now, see, once you get her on the pad, see if you can get her to stay on the pad for time, for duration. Ask her to stay. See if she'll stay on there. You'll take 3 or 4 feet away.
What about when she's doing that, kneeling on the pad?
As long as she's on it. Good girl. There. Nice.
Oh, wow, very nice.
What you did there was, I'm on the pad, you said good, which means duration. And then you went back to her and gave her the reward.
Good girl.
in place.
Yeah.
So now that's teaching her duration. She's staying on the spot.
Learning to stay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if she makes a mistake and comes off, no big deal. We just reset her again. And again, we give her the pad because the pad really makes it clear. That's okay if she stays like that. That's fine. See how she keeps her foot
Yep.
in the pad?
She sure does. Good girl.
Nice. Love it.
Aw. Oh, look.
Look at that. See how
Wow,
she's staying on
that's
the pad?
really good. Well, her brain is going, if I stay on the pad, I get more treats.
Got it.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Sure.
So the word, when you're using good, that's for the duration of the behavior.
Uh-huh.
If she comes off, no big deal. We just reset her again. Just won't go quite as far the next time.
Oh.
Nice, beautiful. Look at that. She touched it. How cute! Look at how she's touching it.
Yep. Well, I like that you have Adrian do so much of it, which is good. Because well, first you needed to do it and show how it's done, but now it's her being. Well, it's nice. It's not because you probably can make almost any dog do almost anything because that's your deal, you know.
Well, and sometimes,
but not everyone.
We need to show people how to do it first, so they get an idea of seeing it first.
Right.
And then they go, okay, now I think it's just telling people.
No, of course. But then it's neat how she can do it, but you can then supervise.
Exactly. So then you coach her.
Right.
On the little details. That's exactly right.
Right. She'll whine sometimes if I leave, if I'm in the car and I go into a store, whether she's in there, she will she wants to know where I am and I'm coming back, and because she is attached to me as her dad, right?
Oh yeah.
But not the way she's attached to, of course, because they're a team, right? They're a service dog.
Yeah.
So with there, it's like it's more than just
so much time together.
Exactly. So yeah.
That makes sense. They're together.
Although she's fine when I'm with her alone, if I'm taking her out walking or I'm somewhere, she doesn't sit there crying because Adrian's not there. I mean, she's just pretty good that way.
She's a really good girl. You have a really good girl.
No, we're lucky.
Now she may need water.
Oh yeah, water.
If not, I have some in the car. Oh, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, that's what she's doing with a little water.
Oh, she's taken to drinking from the toilet.
So the
It's
lid
clean.
just
I mean,
stays
it's
down.
what?
Unless I would just put the lid down.
Just put the lid down, really? Okay. Because her regular water bowl is in the kitchen,
not that it's
and
terrible, but it's better that they're not drinking out of it, just because there are certain bacteria that can get left in there.
you hear that, hon?
It's safer for her not to be drinking.
All right, so we'll leave the lid down.
Yeah. So even in my home,
Right.
we always put the lid down just so they can't make a mistake.
Sure.
Now I have a water bottle in the bathroom for my dogs.
Oh.
I actually have a bowl. We have one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom.
So we could have one in the bathroom as well.
That you
want. Oh,
and then
God.
that way they learn to drink out of that
Instead
of
of
the toilet.
yeah. Okay.
Which I find ironic because at home she's absolutely terrified of the bathroom.
Because it means bath. We've never bathed her in my bathtub. She gets bathed in her bathtub,
So you see
and
how
she doesn't want to get bathed.
That's
So,
right.
so she had bad association.
Generalize that. That's
No.
right. She has not put all those pieces together.
No.
That makes sense. So she doesn't like the bath.
No. But my bathroom, she's never been bathed in, so she has no problem with going into my bathroom.
Got it. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to try to do is get her on a pad. And get her to stay on any one of the pads. Get her to stay. And then we're going to, you will ask her to come, and she'll come on this pad. So in the beginning, we're going to start it relatively close. Just ask her stay. Or good. Come. And then she would go to this pad, and you'd mark here. Then you ask her to stay on that one. We'll bring her to the next one.
We got our freeze-dried liver here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that stuff is good.
She digs that.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, really.
And that's good for her too, because there's not a lot of fat in it.
No, it's good.
She may have to go to the bathroom. She looks like she's doing that. I have to
Oh,
go to the
okay.
bathroom dance.
Ah.